Well, here's the radar imagery from the southern Japanese islands, actually Miyako-Jima specifically, right in the center of the circulation of our tropical storm Leapy, continuing to move off here towards the north right now, actually right around 20 kilometers per hour. So it is starting to move at a faster pace. That is to be expected the farther it gets off here towards the north and starts to interact with the westerlies. Already seeing gusty winds, though, up to tropical storm strength here across the Okinawa area, especially southern Okinawa. But as we take a look at the wind graphic here around midnight in Japan, and this has been the case throughout most of the day, you're seeing similar winds around the tropical storm farther up here towards the north in Shikoku, Kyushu. The highest wind report for the day, actually, believe it or not, was in southern Kyushu in Kumamoto prefecture here. We saw these winds up to about 31 meters per second or 120 kilometers per hour coming in from the southwest. So that really indicates it was on the southern periphery of our frontal area, which now is stretched across much of mainland Japan, and that has been bringing some heavy rainfall in itself, up to about 200 millimeters, some swollen rivers in Kyushu, causing the possibility of some evacuations out here. And this front is only going to get worse because of our tropical storm continuing to come in from the south. So let's really first talk about this and how it is going to push off here towards the north. What are the impacts from it? And then its cannibalization of the front here as that front just sucks it in. Well, chances are, if you are watching this in Okinawa, you're probably watching this sometime Thursday morning, and you're still going to be seeing these gusty winds out here, especially on the southern periphery, because even though that circulation moves farther towards the north, that inflow that we have been seeing, which is still bringing that heavy rainfall across the Philippines, is still going to be hitting you out here. So tropical storm strength gusts throughout the day on your Thursday. Not a day to venture out to the beach. I think if there are any injuries from this tropical storm, that is going to be the case. People not using common sense as that storm does continue to push off here towards the north and then eventually in the northeast. And it's still carrying these waves with it as well. Actually, in the forecast from JMA, 6-meter high waves expected into the Yamani Islands, the southern Japanese islands, including Okinawa. Up towards the Kinki region, you can see about 3 to 5-meter high waves. That's this area right in here. So these winds can continue to come on shore right around gale force strength. Also going to be looking at the heavy rainfall, though. Let's take a look at the MSL at the same time here. And like I said, that front is going to cannibalize the storm. So I know that the most recent tracks from JM and JTWC alike, depending on whatever agency you're using, shows the storm pulling off here towards the north, then shooting off there towards the northeast, actually coming rather close to the Tokyo area. Is it going to be a tropical storm when it comes close to Tokyo? No, not at all, really. There is going to be some winds out of it, but in some heavy rainfall, very well likely. Not as much as out towards western Japan, but Tokyo area, you are going to be seeing the frontal area really kind of on steroids due to it sucking in the moisture from this storm system. And many models more recently are really picking up on this as well. They just kind of, right here, once it actually gets up towards the Yamani Islands, our storm system falls completely apart due to the interaction with the westerlies out here. If we take a look at just the wind shear chart really quick, and this is with the JTWC track overlaid, and once it starts to trend towards the right here, 30, 40 knots of wind shear around this storm system, and that is really what is going to drive this dramatic decrease in intensity, but still bringing that heavy rainfall with it, but a dramatic decrease in intensity. So that's the problem with it right now. Really, my suggestion, to stay away from the beach as this continues to come through. Western Japan, you have to deal with the risk of flooding and landslides, though, especially in these steeper volcanic slopes. I know some low-lying areas, some rivers in Kyushu, there is the risk of flooding there as well, just due to continuous days of heavy rain. And when we're continuing to talk about continuous days of heavy rains in the Philippines as well, not just from Leapy or Imong here, but that continuous monsoonal flow we have been watching. And look at this, look at that swirl starting to spin here into the South China Sea. Me and James Reynolds actually this morning during the live cast just talked about this when JTWC just upgraded it to a medium area, and it does look like this, if not already, is a tropical depression. It is going to be in the near future. Tropical depression means you have to have a circulation here. Now let's get imagery in the area. Well, this is actually a few hours old, but it still shows a very weak circulation trying to develop here. I think that if we get our new pass, which is actually going to be in the next few hours, it's going to show a more clear indication. And when that happens, that you get that confirmation here from the satellite-derived wind. I think that is a time when JTWC and JMA really are going to get in on that storm system and upgrade it to a tropical depression as well. All you need is just a circulation in the tropics, really closed-off circulation. We don't have the benefit of hurricane hunters or typhoon hunters out here in the Western Pacific. I'm sure that there was, they would be flying out there to confirm it. So GFS model showing that development of that low pressure area, but really the big threat with it is just look at that monsoonal flow. There is going to be a tremendous amount of rainfall around the Manila area. To make matters worse, there was actually an earthquake today of 4.5 magnitude in the Quezon area. So you have the flooding rains, that earthquake, definitely the risk of further flooding, landslides out here across most of Luzon just due to that persistent monsoonal rains into the weekend as this low pressure area does continue to develop and then pushes off there towards the northwest. And even as it does so, you're still seeing the rains. It's not until sometime next week when stuff begins to clear up, the tropics get quieter finally, that MJO pulse over the area finally starts to ease off. But that is all for right now, everybody. Please don't forget to go check out the Tropical Information Center at the webpage. Actually, just go to the webpage and check out all our tools. We have our latest educational pieces. The most recent was a top 5 deadliest typhoons in Western Pacific history. We also have Westpac Weather 101. Lots of information there. Also, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you can post them down in the comment box below. And also remember that we are not an official agency of Westpac Weather. Please do not use our information to make any important decisions, but we appreciate your feedback, and as always, stay safe out there.